There comes a point in every spiritual journey where frustration quietly replaces faith. You've done everything you were told to do. You've written affirmations, visualized your dream life, walked with confidence, and tried your best to act as if the reality you desire is already yours. You've smiled when you didn't feel like it, told yourself you were abundant even when your bank account whispered the opposite, and practiced gratitude while wondering why nothing seemed to move. It's confusing, isn't it? You hear people say, just act as if, and yet, no matter how hard you try, your reality refuses to change. Deep down, a small voice begins to wonder, is manifestation even real, or am I just fooling myself? This is where so many seekers get lost, not because the method is wrong, but because the understanding behind it is incomplete. The truth is, acting as if can be one of the most powerful manifestation tools, but only when you understand what's really happening beneath the surface. Without that awareness, it becomes nothing more than spiritual theater. A performance where the body plays the role of abundance while the energy still vibrates lack. It's like trying to convince the universe of something you don't truly believe in yet, and the universe, being the perfect mirror that it is, reflects your inner conflict right back at you. The problem isn't that you're not trying hard enough. The problem is that you've been taught to treat manifestation as a performance instead of an alignment. The world has sold you an illusion that if you just look confident, speak positively, and pretend long enough, the universe will eventually be tricked into giving you what you want. But the universe doesn't respond to appearances. It responds to frequency. You can't fake energy. You can smile all day, speak affirmations in the mirror, wear luxurious clothes, and tell yourself you are abundant. But if your emotional signature still vibrates with fear, doubt, or unworthiness, the quantum field will continue to reflect that vibration back to you. Most people misunderstand what acting as if really means because they approach it from the mind, not the being. The mind loves the idea of control. It wants steps, techniques, visible progress. But manifestation doesn't happen in the mind. It happens in the field of consciousness that exists beneath it. When you act as if from the mind alone, it feels exhausting. You constantly have to monitor how you speak, how you think, how you appear. It becomes an endless checklist of trying to look spiritual enough, positive enough, confident enough. But when you shift from the mind into being, acting as if transforms into something effortless. It's no longer pretending, it's remembering. Remembering who you already are at your core. Maybe you've had glimpses of this before. A moment when you felt completely aligned, when everything seemed to flow easily. You weren't trying to be positive, you simply were. You didn't have to fake confidence, you just felt at peace. That's the state where acting as if actually works because you're no longer acting, you're embodying. The universe responds instantly to that state because it's pure coherence. There's no gap between what you think, feel, and do. Every part of you is in harmony. So as you listen to this message, I want you to release the pressure to perform. Stop trying to look spiritual. Stop forcing positivity. Stop pretending that everything is fine when deep down you're still wrestling with doubt. Your honesty is sacred. Your awareness of where you are is the first doorway to transformation. You can't leap into a new frequency while rejecting the one you're in. The path isn't about bypassing your current self. It's about loving it so deeply that it naturally begins to evolve. Think of it this way, if you were an actor preparing for a role, you wouldn't just mimic the words of the character. You'd study their emotions, their backstory, their worldview. You'd learn to feel what they feel so deeply that the line between you and the character disappears. That's what true embodiment is. When you act as if, in manifestation, you're not pretending to be someone else. You're remembering a version of yourself that already exists in a higher frequency. You're not faking abundance. You're reconnecting with the part of you that already knows how to create it. You're not lying to yourself. You're realigning with truth. But before we go deeper into the energetic science of why this works, it's important to sit with this one realization. Manifestation is not about convincing the universe, it's about convincing yourself. The external world is just a reflection of your internal vibration. When you're forcing yourself to act, while still feeling disconnected inside, you're sending mixed signals to the field. It's like pressing the accelerator and the brake at the same time. You might move a little, but mostly you'll just burn energy and wonder why you're not getting anywhere. Take a deep breath for a moment. Let go of all the shoulds you've collected from manifestation videos, spiritual gurus, and self-help books. You don't have to perform your worthiness, you just have to feel it. You don't need to pretend you have what you want. You need to trust that the version of you who has it already exists, and your only job is to meet them in frequency. When you understand this, the pressure dissolves. You no longer chase alignment, you become it. You no longer act as if, you live as truth. The real journey begins when you stop asking, how do I make it happen? And start asking, how do I become the version of me for whom it's already happening? That's the shift we'll explore together in this video. The transition from performing abundance to embodying it, from forcing reality to allowing it. Because once you understand why acting as if doesn't work the way you think it does, you'll finally unlock the deeper, more powerful secret. That the universe has never required your performance. It's only ever waited for your alignment. Most people who first learn about manifestation fall into the same invisible trap. They hear the phrase act as if, and assume it means to pretend, to behave as though they already have what they desire, hoping that the outer performance will somehow convince reality to follow. They start dressing differently, posting differently, speaking differently. They try to appear more confident, more successful, more spiritually evolved. For a short while, it may even feel empowering. But soon the exhaustion creeps in. Because deep down they know that they're only acting. They can feel the inner tension, the quiet voice that whispers, "You're not there yet." That subtle sense of dishonesty creates an energetic wall between what they want and what they are willing to feel. And that wall is the very reason manifestation stalls. The illusion of pretending is seductive because it gives us a sense of control. We believe that if we just project the right image, the universe will reward us for our effort. But the truth is, pretending keeps you locked in separation. You stand outside the vibration of your desire, looking in from the edge, hoping that the costume you wear is convincing enough to earn entry. It's like standing at the gates of a new reality, knocking with borrowed energy. You can imitate the gestures of someone who is already abundant, but if your heart still vibrates scarcity, the gate will never open. The universe doesn't speak the language of pretense, it speaks the language of resonance. When you act as if without inner alignment, your energy becomes fragmented. Imagine two radio frequencies overlapping, one broadcasting the signal of "I am abundant," and the other quietly transmitting, "I'm not there yet." The result is static, noisy, distorted, unclear. That's exactly what happens inside your field. You're sending two conflicting messages into the quantum fabric of reality. One part of you wants to believe, another part is still doubting, waiting for proof. The quantum field mirrors that confusion by delivering mixed outcomes. Small bursts of manifestation followed by sudden stagnation. It's not that the technique doesn't work, it's that the vibration behind it is inconsistent. The core of this misunderstanding lies in how we define identity. When you are acting, you are attempting to become. But when you are being, you are simply expressing. Acting as if, in its distorted form, is rooted in lack. It implies that you are not yet what you desire to be. You are pretending in hopes of convincing yourself otherwise. Real embodiment, however, begins with truth. It starts from the awareness that the version of you who already has what you seek is not separate. It's already within you, dormant, waiting to be remembered. Pretending says, "I am not there yet, but maybe if I fake it, I'll get there." Embodiment whispers, "I already am, now I allow myself to feel it." This is why so many people experience resistance while trying to manifest. They try to overlay positive affirmations on top of unresolved emotions, hoping to skip the discomfort. But the subconscious mind is not fooled by words, it responds to emotion. If your affirmations declare abundance while your nervous system still trembles with fear, you create energetic friction. It's like putting a bright sticker over a cracked mirror. It may look fine from a distance, but the distortion remains underneath. The subconscious, which governs 95% of your reality, doesn't respond to surface actions. It responds to the emotional truth you're carrying. Think about the way you might try to act confident before a big presentation. You stand tall, smile, and speak clearly. On the outside, it looks like confidence. But inside, if your stomach twists with anxiety, your body betrays you. Your voice shakes, your hands fidget, your energy leaks uncertainty. That's how acting as if often feels on an energetic level. You're saying one thing and broadcasting another. The universe, attuned to the subtle frequencies of your emotion, responds not to your mask but to your message. It listens not to your words but to your vibration. This is why authenticity is not just a moral principle, it's an energetic one. Authenticity creates coherence. When your inner state matches your outer expression, energy flows freely. When it doesn't, the current becomes blocked. The universe mirrors your state of coherence back to you through synchronicities, opportunities, and alignment. But when you pretend, even with good intentions, you create internal contradiction. You're sending the signal of "I am pretending to be abundant," which still reinforces that you are not. It's like trying to change the reflection in a mirror without changing your posture. The effort becomes endless because you're fixing the symptom, not the source. The illusion of pretending also traps many people in comparison. When you believe manifestation is about performance, you start comparing how aligned, you look with how others appear online. You see someone living their dream life, glowing with ease, and assume they're simply better at acting as if. What you don't see is that the people who truly manifest effortlessly are not acting at all. They've merged identity with desire. Their energy feels natural because it is natural. They're not forcing confidence. They've become the frequency of confidence itself. They're not pretending to be abundant. They're existing as abundance. This is the subtle but life-changing difference. To truly understand why acting as if doesn't work, you must see it for what it really is. A bridge that's meant to be crossed, not lived on. It's a temporary practice designed to train your nervous system into new emotional familiarity, not a lifelong performance. The goal isn't to fake your new reality, it's to become emotionally comfortable with it. When you use acting as if consciously, you're not lying to yourself. You're introducing your body to a new energetic pattern. You're saying, this version of me exists and I am learning to feel safe embodying it. But when you get stuck in the performance, you trap yourself in the illusion that outer actions alone create inner change. Your emotions are your compass. If acting as if feels strained, forced, or hollow, it's a sign you're performing instead of aligning. Real transformation feels peaceful, not pressured. When you are truly embodying your desired self, there's no resistance. You don't need to remind yourself who you are, you just know. The outer behavior becomes a natural expression of the inner vibration, not a performance trying to prove worthiness. That's when manifestation begins to flow, when what you think, feel, and do are in perfect harmony. So before you take another step on your manifestation journey, pause and ask yourself, am I pretending to be my future self, or am I remembering who I already am? One is rooted in effort, the other in ease. One tries to convince the universe, the other communicates fluently with it. When you stop performing and start aligning, your energy becomes pure, coherent, magnetic. You no longer act as if because there's nothing left to pretend. You simply exist in truth, and the universe, recognizing that truth, has no choice but to rearrange itself to match your vibration. At the heart of manifestation lies a simple but profound truth. The universe does not respond to your behavior, it responds to your frequency. You can act, speak, and even think in ways that mimic success, but if your inner state vibrates with doubt, the outer reality will continue to mirror that doubt back to you. This is where so many people misunderstand the entire process of acting as if. They focus on what they are doing rather than on what they are being. But manifestation isn't a behavioral performance, it's an energetic alignment. The quantum field is not listening to your words or watching your gestures. It is responding always and only to your dominant vibration, the emotional frequency that lives beneath every thought, word, and action. Imagine the quantum field as an infinite mirror that reflects not what you say but what you feel. When you say, I am abundant, while secretly worrying about money, the field mirrors the worry, not the words. When you post motivational affirmations but still carry shame or fear underneath, the reflection you receive will be mixed. Moments of progress followed by moments of resistance. The universe cannot be deceived by performance because it operates through resonance. It simply matches vibration with vibration. To shift your external world, you must first become a vibrational match to the reality you desire. This is the essence of true creation, not pretending to have something but tuning your frequency to the state of already having it. To understand this on a deeper level, think of yourself as both a transmitter and receiver of energy. Every emotion, every belief, every expectation emits a signal into the field. When your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are aligned, your signal becomes coherent and strong. The quantum field, responding to coherence, organizes itself to match that frequency. But when your mind says one thing and your emotions say another, your energy becomes fragmented. The signal weakens and the results you manifest appear inconsistent. You might attract small opportunities but they slip away. You might see glimpses of abundance but they quickly fade. The problem isn't that the universe isn't responding, it's that your signal keeps shifting between alignment and resistance. Modern quantum physics and ancient spiritual teachings both describe this phenomenon in their own language. In quantum terms, your reality collapses around your dominant frequency, the vibration you hold most consistently. In spiritual language, you receive what you are, not what you want. Both point to the same truth. You are not manifesting with your actions, you are manifesting with your state of being. The field is neutral, it has no preference. It simply mirrors your energetic blueprint. If your internal state is rooted in lack, you will attract experiences that validate lack. If your internal state vibrates with fulfillment, the external world will naturally reorganize itself to reflect abundance. This is why pretending or forcing positivity doesn't create lasting change. When you try to act abundant while feeling lack, you're sending contradictory messages to the field. You might visualize wealth for 10 minutes, but if you spend the rest of the day worrying about bills, your dominant vibration is still scarcity. It's like trying to tune a radio to a higher frequency while still gripping the old dial. The signal can't stabilize. To truly shift reality, the inner frequency must change first. You must feel, believe, and know yourself to already be in possession of what you desire, not as a fantasy but as a felt truth in your energy. The concept of energetic congruence explains this perfectly. Congruence means that your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are in harmony, that what you think matches what you feel and what you feel matches what you do. When all three align, your energy becomes magnetic. The field responds instantly because there is no inner contradiction to slow it down. This is the difference between forced manifestation and effortless creation. Forced manifestation is when the mind tries to control the outcome through techniques, affirmations, or rigid routines. Effortless creation is when the inner vibration already matches the outcome, and reality simply rearranges itself to reflect that truth. For example, let's take money manifestation. You can act as if, by buying fancy clothes, talking about success, and repeating affirmations like, "I am wealthy." But if deep down you still feel guilty about wanting money or fearful that it will run out, your frequency remains tied to scarcity. Those unresolved emotions anchor you to the old version of yourself. Real abundance begins when you address the energetic roots of lack, the beliefs and emotions that keep you disconnected from the feeling of security. When you truly feel safe and worthy of abundance, you no longer have to perform it. Your vibration naturally stabilizes at that frequency, and opportunities begin to flow effortlessly. The same principle applies to love. Many people act as if they are already in a loving relationship. They visualize their ideal partner, they act confident, they say they're ready for love. But if deep inside they still feel unworthy, unseen, or afraid of rejection, those frequencies broadcast louder than their affirmations. The quantum field cannot bring you a love that you are not yet a vibrational match to. You must become the frequency of love itself. When you feel whole, secure, and open within yourself, you attract relationships that mirror that energy back to you. Love flows not from wanting someone to fill your void, but from radiating completeness from within. This is why emotions are your most powerful manifestation tools. Emotions are the bridge between your physical body and your quantum energy field. They tell the universe what frequency you are currently holding. You can say, "I am grateful," but the universe doesn't hear the words. It feels the vibration of gratitude when your body truly relaxes into it. You can say, "I am successful," but if your body is still in survival mode, the signal of stress overpowers your affirmation. True quantum alignment happens when your emotions and energy are coherent. When you can feel the emotion of your desired reality now, without needing the physical evidence to justify it. To reach that state, you must learn to regulate your energy. Meditation, breathwork, visualization, or even conscious stillness are not just spiritual practices. They are vibrational recalibrations. They train your body to become comfortable in the frequency of peace, abundance, or love before the external proof arrives. As you hold that vibration more consistently, your brain begins to rewire itself. Neural pathways shift to support your new identity. The old, fear-based patterns fade, and your energy stabilizes into coherence. At that point, manifestation becomes natural, even inevitable. You no longer chase it, you attract it by resonance. Think of your vibration as your personal broadcast to the universe. Every moment, you are transmitting a frequency, through your emotions, your expectations, and your sense of self. The universe simply plays back whatever channel you are tuned into. When your signal is fragmented, reality feels confusing and inconsistent. But when your signal is clear and steady, life begins to mirror that clarity back to you through synchronicities, effortless opportunities, and aligned relationships. This is the quantum mechanics of consciousness at work. A perfect feedback loop between your internal vibration and your external experience. So the real question is never, "What should I do to manifest?" The real question is, "Who am I being as I do it?" The quantum field doesn't respond to your checklist, it responds to your energy signature. When you shift your vibration into coherence, your thoughts become lighter, your emotions more peaceful, and your actions more aligned. You stop trying to force outcomes and instead move with the current of your higher frequency. That is when life starts to feel miraculous. Not because something magical suddenly appears, but because you finally see that the magic was always your energy responding to itself. The universe is not withholding anything from you. It's waiting for you to stabilize at the vibration of what you are asking for. When you stop pretending and start embodying, when your mind, heart, and energy vibrate in unity, the field responds instantly. That's not luck and it's not coincidence, it's quantum law. You are the frequency you create from. Once you understand that, manifestation ceases to be a guessing game. It becomes a natural expression of who you already are. You no longer ask, when will it come? Because you know, it already exists. You just needed to align your frequency to see it. When you stop acting and begin embodying, everything changes. Instead of forcing yourself to behave like the version of you that already has it, you begin to feel what it's like to be that version, here and now. Embodiment isn't about pretending, it's about aligning. You let your emotions, thoughts, and choices flow from the identity that already lives within you. To bridge the gap, start small. Ask yourself, how would the version of me who already lives this reality think, breathe, and respond? Then begin doing that, not as a performance but as an act of remembrance. Emotional alignment, breath work, gratitude, and quiet self-trust become your tools. You shift from needing proof to simply knowing. The moment you embody that frequency, love, abundance, peace, life starts mirroring it back. You no longer look outside for validation. You no longer chase, you attract. Because now you are no longer acting as if. You are finally being who you were meant to be all along. When you reach this stage, something within you feels lighter. You've released the pressure to act as if, the tension of constantly performing for the universe. You begin to understand, deeply and quietly, that manifestation was never about pretending to be something you are not. It was about remembering what has always been true. Every single time you tried to act as if, you were reaching outward, stretching into a version of yourself that you believed existed far ahead of you. But what if that version was never ahead? What if they've been inside you all along, waiting for you to stop pretending and start being? The moment you pause, take a breath, and feel into your body, you realize something profound. The future self you've been chasing isn't a future at all. It's the most authentic, unfiltered expression of your current self. This is the secret to quantum alignment, the knowing that reality doesn't shift when you force it to, but when you relax into the vibration of who you already are. The universe doesn't reward pretending, it mirrors coherence. When your thoughts, emotions, and energy move in harmony, the quantum field responds effortlessly. Life starts to rearrange around your frequency because you've stopped pushing against what's real. To become the frequency means to let go of resistance. It's the art of surrender, not as a passive act but as a sacred choice. You let go of timelines, of proving, of performing. You begin to trust that your alignment is enough. The universe doesn't need your effort, it needs your openness. When you embody peace, peace reflects back. When you embody abundance, opportunities align with ease. The energy you are becomes the magnet that draws in everything resonant with it. Think of your life as a mirror. Every experience, every encounter, every delay, it all reflects the energy you hold most consistently. When you act as if, you often carry a subtle undertone of lack, like saying, I'll pretend I have it until it comes. But when you become the frequency, that lack dissolves. You no longer wait for proof because your reality already feels complete within you. That inner completion is the signal the universe recognizes as truth. The journey from acting to being is not about control, it's about coherence. You are aligning your inner vibration with your chosen reality until there is no separation left between the two. It's a gentle process of remembering who you are beyond fear, doubt, or striving. You become the still point in the chaos, the observer who knows that all realities exist simultaneously. You simply choose which one to tune into through your state of being. As you walk through this world, this understanding changes everything. Your relationships soften. Your self-talk becomes kind. You begin to notice beauty in small, ordinary moments because you're no longer rushing to get somewhere else. Gratitude ceases to be a practice and becomes a way of breathing. You start living as the consciousness that creates worlds, rather than a person trying to control outcomes. And from this place of being, manifestation becomes natural. Not something you do but something that happens through you. You attract experiences that match your inner calm. You meet people who reflect your new level of self-worth. You begin to see proof of alignment everywhere, not because you forced it but because you became it. The ultimate truth is that acting as if doesn't work when it's rooted in separation. But when you embody the energy of what you desire from a state of unity, everything aligns. You're no longer asking the universe for something. You're co-creating with it, as it, through it. You and the quantum field move as one consciousness, effortlessly weaving new realities together. So, as this journey closes, take a deep breath. Feel the energy moving through you right now, the quiet hum of creation itself. You are not small. You are not behind. You are the living frequency of everything you seek. The future self you once visualized is already here, expressing through your breath, your awareness, your being. Stop trying to act. Stop trying to prove. Just be. Let the frequency of your truth speak louder than any affirmation. Let your peace be the evidence. Let your joy be the manifestation. The moment you embody your truth, reality shifts to mirror it, effortlessly, gracefully, inevitably. Because you were never meant to act as if you were whole. You were meant to remember that you always were.